And we begin first with developing news. A suspect arrested, accused of attacking his grandparents, almost choking one of them to death. It was breaking news that we brought you first last night at 11, and now we're learning some new details as the suspect's grandfather speaks exclusively with Eyewitness News. Eyewitness News reporter Catherine Sotnick is live now in front of the Swansea Police Department right now. Catherine?
Well, just an awful series of events to report here today in Swansea, and the police chief here says if it weren't for two of his police officers making it to that house in the nick of time, things here could have turned out much differently. That grandmother potentially could have died. Now, I can tell you that police did respond to that house at 287 Bark Street in Swansea around 6 o'clock last night to find, they say, 18-year-old Chad Almeida, they say, strangling his grandmother with a wire wrapped around her neck. Prior to that, police say that he beat both his grandfather and his grandmother, and as you said, we were able to speak to that grandfather moments ago, and he says his grandson, for whatever reason, quote, just flipped right out, breaking a bottle of wine over his head and then smashing his wife into a stove and also shoving her head into a door. And again, just an awful series of events to report here. And this is what the police chief and that grandfather had to say moments ago.
I rushed down there, he had the electric cord around his neck. And his eyes are like this.
So he tried to kill your wife?
Yeah. He wasn't his own. He didn't know what he was doing. Because he loves my wife. She'd do anything for him, and he'd do anything for her. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe it.
When they got to 287 Bark Street, there was a female in the driveway screaming for them to hurry up, that he was killing her. They ran into the house. They were directed to the basement. When they got to the basement, they observed Maria Almeida on the basement floor, her back on the floor, and Chad Almeida on top of her, choking her with his hands, and also pulling a wire around her neck.
And the question here is, why did this 18-year-old do this? The grandfather says his grandson has a history of problems and was potentially on medication. And police say that grandson, Chad Almeida, also tried to kill himself, slicing his neck. Both he and his grandmother are at the hospital. We're told that miraculously that grandmother is in stable condition, is expected to make it. But again, things could have turned out much, much differently if it weren't for the two police officers here in Swansea getting to that house at the right time. For now, we're reporting live with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom from Swansea. I'm Catherine Sotnick, Eyewitness News.